How's it? I'm here to introduce the Dis-n-Dat Kikaida special Michael W. Perry segment. When I got the opportunity to produce this show and put all these different segments together, a guy I knew, who a lot of people in Hawaii, we know him as Michael W. Perry. He is the king and god of all media, from radio to television to film. Mike is he's just an icon here in Hawaii, and from what I understood, he is the #1 Kikaida fan in Hawaii. So I had called him up and said, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna do this segment on Kikaida. We're into the 30th anniversary of Kikaida in Hawaii, and I wanted to see if you wanted to talk about it." He's like, "Shoots, what time are you coming over?" So I grabbed my cameraman and we went down to the Evil A Doe Cannery location for K59 KSSK radio. And right after they were done their morning show, we got to go sit in the studio, and this is what we recorded. Enjoy.
Heard about Kikaida when everybody else did, when it became a phenomenon, which is about 30 years ago. And I was led to it, of course, by my kid, who was about 3 at the time. And it was a big deal in our house. So dad and son working together as a team, watching all, and of course that led to all the other ones too. Zero-One and Diamond Eye and Ultraman and Kamen Rider V3 and all of them. I am probably Hawaii's #1 Kikaida fan. Kikaida was great. I mean, it was Power Rangers, forget it. Kikaida was the original, the best, and still the coolest. Even though the latex is, looks pretty tacky these days, 30 years later. But back then, that was really good action stuff, and the kids would get involved, and even the parents would get involved, which is strange. Kikaida here is generational. It's part of the landscape for the past 30 years, for several generations. I liked it because my kid brought me to it. He was 3 at the time. Couldn't get him to sleep at night except by doing a giant swing throw into the bed. That became the way to get the kid into bed, with a giant swing throw. Thank you, Kikaida. And now that worked with my grandson, by the way. Oh yeah, Kikaida was the best. Here was this brooding guy with the guitar who would play his guitar on a hillside and think about right and wrong and good and evil, and good always won. And I mean, there was a wonderful message in each one of them. Obviously, positive, very positive. For a guy who's mechanical, it's not bad. Well, Kikaida was the archetypal superhero. He really was. For 30, I mean, you have to put everything in perspective. 30 years ago, that was as good as it got. They were way ahead of the curve, as a matter of fact, 30 years ago. Now, I'm sorry, everything's better, fancier, but when you get right down to it, the basics, Kikaida was good versus evil, and good won. It's a perfect story. There's only one quarry that ever was the scene for the fighting, right? And there was always this quarry, this dusty road, and the motorcycle, and he'd stand on a hill and play the guitar and all this. That one quarry, I'm sure they can find a better set, okay, if they did it again. But yeah, it would be outstanding right now if they could use modern techniques and bring back the old feeling with Kikaida. Oh, sure. People on the mainland have no idea what you're talking about when you say Kikaida, okay? It really is a Hawaii phenomenon. Hawaii and Japan and probably a little bit the rest of Asia. But in Hawaii, it is a cultural phenomenon. It is a part of our last 3 generations. Literally, 3 generations. So yeah, everybody should know about it just to find out what everybody's talking about when they talk about these guys and Suichi-on 1, 2, 3. You guys are bomb. Absolutely fantastic. You're a part of my life. Denru hibana ga karada hashiru Jiro change Kikaida Da robot mukueute Jinzu ningen Kikaida. Does it get any worse than that?